I just wanted to end my speech by reciting a few lines from a motivational speech that I heard a few years ago. And I heard this speech at a time when I wasn't feeling right. And that speech, it gave me a ray of hope in a moment I needed it most. Okay, so here's how it goes. You are enough. And when you start to see that, you'll start to be that. Your world will get brighter, your load will get lighter. And you can see that with life, you can be a lover and not a fighter. And that life, you deserve it because you are worth it. And there's no need to let yourself keep forgetting because no matter what you say or do, you are perfect. And so today, I hope I leave you with a direction correction away from the flaws you see in your reflection. They aren't flaws to me, they're simply protection against all the doubts you have of your perfection. So start today. Take a good, long look in the mirror and say, I am who I've been looking for. Thank you all very much. You've been a wonderful audience. Thank you.
And thank you very much for your super inspiring speech. And for the last sentence, it's very deep. And I understand you as I was mocked a lot. Yes, a lot when I was a child.
Wow. I am speechless. That was a brilliant speech. Very, very well done. And at the part when you said that when somebody mocks you, then it like feels like as if they are like tearing your soul. I was saying that when somebody mocks you, do not let their words affect you so much. Like I learned this once I joined this program where one of the affirmations said, the only opinion of me that matters is my opinion of myself, which really showed me that whenever somebody mocks you, like at the end of the day, what's the worst that they can do? Like all that they can do is say something. Now it's up to you that if you want it to affect you or if you want to dust it off. But your speech was brilliant and especially the final word. Fantastic. Well done.
Thank you so much, Yasin. Amazing words from an amazing boy.
And amazing speech. Really, really well done. Both in content and in form. You sounded in extreme control all the time, really slowly and deliberate. And that's really, that's challenging, you know, because at least when I get nervous, I tend to speed up. And you were in complete control all the time. So amazing job.
I could really, relate to the things that you went through. The reason is I've also gone through a lot of, humiliation during my school days, especially. And my question to you is, how has your life changed, like after joining this program?
So I became a PWSS in December, and during that time, the revision break from my exam started. So I haven't really had enough time to socialize. But just last week we had an exam, and I met with all my friends, and I felt much more confident, and I was using my speech plan of short, pronounced stop, and that really helped me. And yeah, it's been great.
Fantastic. And I have one more question for you. So are you using the StopStutter app, Kaushik?
I am using it, yes.
Yeah. So can you tell me what are the features that you really like about the app? Like there are a lot of resources out there, right? There are speech tools, there are, affirmations that you can do. So what are the features that you really like in the StopStutter app?
I would say the daily routine is one of the best parts of it because if every day I log into the app and that's the first thing I do, the daily routine. I do the affirmations, and it's really good that you can tap on the affirmation, so you can count how many you've done. Otherwise,
Right.
it's hard to really remember how many you've done. So I would say that's the best part of it.
I want to say that you gave an outstanding speech, and I see the incredible improvements you've made. I know you've been working very hard, and now you're getting the results. The question that I wanted to ask you was, what was the most challenging part of the program?
I think the most challenging part was beginning to accept that it would work, because I've tried speech therapy in the past and I failed. So really trying something new and hoping that this would be the thing that works out for me was hard. But I think after the first few weeks, after seeing my own progress, it really it really made me think that this will work and that it's the best program out there.
It's a great answer. Thank you, my friend. Excellent speech.
What would be your one key word of advice to someone who is trying to beat stuttering, and maybe even someone who has been in this program for a while? Yeah. Thank you.
My one advice would probably be, do not skip the mind training. Because I remember in the first few weeks of the program, I didn't take it very seriously. I would do it like maybe once a day, or like I would do like five affirmations each. But I realized that that didn't really help me, because you need to say it as much as you can, even during the times when you have nothing to do in your idle times, I would say. And that's really what gave me the most effective result.
I just want to say great job on your speech. It was smooth and fluent, and you sounded flawless. And your story had brought tears to my eyes because I could somewhat relate to you about like kids, are just like, like cruel, and some of like friends who are like cruel to us. And there were many days like where I went home and I would like cry, and no one can really understand, our pain and suffering. And you know what? It's okay. You know what? It actually made us really like humble, like people, and like kind people, and our like a weakness does not define who we are. And thank God for Coach Lee and his book and his like coaching like lessons, and we are forever like grateful for Coach Lee and for the website, the app, and all of the coaches. And good job, Kushag. I'm so like proud of you. And sky is the limit for all of us, for sure.
Thank you very much, Zena. This is very inspirational from you. It meant a lot. And about like kids, they can be really mean, but I think when you stammer, you learn to be a very kind person. You learn forgiveness, and I think it just makes you a more humble person overall. So
And I got to tell you, I'll echo what everyone else is saying. You sound fantastic. And I'm not saying that. I want you to understand, as a person who struggled with this, you're what, 20 years old, you said?
yes, I'm 20 years old. Yeah.
I want you to deeply hear me. You sound fantastic. I would sit here and listen to you speak all day. You sound great. From the pace to your storytelling to the fact that you're jumping from your notes to comments off the cuff. You sound fantastic. I have two questions, but in the interest of time, I'm going to pick one of them. And my question is about, I guess I'll call it the daily grind. I would like to hear about what your experience was going through the motions of starting to implement the practices that are part of this program. Talk to us about what it took, the hard work it took every day. Talk to us about what your routine became to start getting into a new habit of actually addressing this problem head on and how that helped you. I'd just like to understand your habit and routine. And the reason I ask this is because often on these calls, people will ask questions or look for, years ago at least I did, short-term solutions. Hey, what's the shortcut? How can I get there faster versus, at least in my case, it was just a boatload of hard work. So I'd like to hear your take on what was your daily routine like to get to this point?
Thank you very much, Joe, for the question. It is a pleasure to meet you. So about my routine. So I would say a month after I joined the program, so I was doing my daily mind training twice a day. I would do it when I woke up and just before going to sleep. And sometimes when I would go to university on the bus, I would listen to my recordings of the affirmations. And about the reading aloud, I used to do it, at least I try to do it every single day before going to bed for like an hour. And that really helped because when you read aloud, you hear yourself at your best. So it just brought much more fluency memories for me. And I tried to join the crutch practice sessions at least 3 to 4 times a week. And the one that helped me the most was Coach Danny. You are amazing. Thank you so much.
You had an amazing pace, not too fast, not too slow. It was really easy to follow, and I kind of didn't want your speech to end. I think you would be a great motivational speaker, so really, really great job.
So that now that you have done your SAM talk, do you feel like you like you have completed another step in your fluency ladder, or so? Yeah.
Thank you so much, Javier. So at the start of the speech, I did feel a bit nervous, but as I got along, I realized that I was doing well. I mean, it's okay, and that kind of increased my confidence throughout the speech. And definitely, this was a high pressure situation for me, so it's definitely up there in the fluency ladder. So I have accomplished this, and the next feats should be fine after that.
My only question to you is that for anyone who may be watching this right now and is still on the fence about subscribing to the StopStutter app, what would you say to convince them? Because clearly it's paid off for you in dividends.
Thank you so much, Danny, for your thoughts. So my advice to someone who's on the fence about whether buying this program would work or not, I would say just take the leap and go for it. It's a mere price to pay. It's nothing compared to what people charge, and it really makes a difference. The program is about neuroscience. It's about the mind and how you can train your mind to achieve fluency. It does require work, but everything that makes you successful requires work. And in a few months, like I have, you can achieve fluency. So just go for it.
I would like to know, how do you actually handle situation where you're actually put on spot to talk? Because as a starter myself or a blocker, I tend to really have speech anxiety where I am put on the spot. I don't know how to react, or maybe I just think about, oh, I'm gonna stutter. So how do you go over those, thoughts?
So being put on the spot is definitely a difficult position to be in. I would say at that moment, just don't think about your speech at all. I know it seems hard to say, but one thing that really helps is extreme pronunciation. And Pratyusha explains it really well. that if you put your mind and focus on the words itself and how the mouth is moving, then you won't really have time to think about anything else. Just think about the words, not the actual word, but how you're going to say it. And that makes a big difference. Also, while giving your speech or whatever it is that you have to say, just focus on the message and think positive thoughts only. Just get rid of any negative thoughts. And even if you have them, replace them with 2 positive thoughts. And I think that's going to make a big difference.
Your words are so articulate, and I just wanted to ask, was your improvement like linear, or were there like relapses in between? And how did you like deal with that?
So there were some relapses in between. I actually remember I had an interview in about November, and I had to go to Cardiff for that. So in the interview, I was fine, I was fluent. But on the phone call with my dad after that, I started like crazy. It's
Right.
because I was just so excited to talk to him about it that I forgot all on my speech plan and everything. So you have to remember to not forget it, to have it at the back of your mind at all times.
Yeah, it was a really good presentation. If I can do my presentation half as good as the one that you did, I think that I will be very happy with myself.
I hope that you enjoyed the exchanges of thought with ex-stutters and those fast becoming ex-stutters. I will now end with our motto. Feel free to say it along with me. If you can say one word anywhere, anytime, you can say and love to say any word, anywhere, anytime. So until next Saturday, have a great and wonderful weekend, sorry.